The morning sun had barely risen when Mara Ellington stepped into the marble-floored lobby of Northbridge Financial, clutching her worn canvas bag as if it were the only stable thing left in her life. Her shoes were dusty, her hair pulled back in a loose braid, and her eyes carried that unmistakable blend of exhaustion and hope, the kind that appears only in people who have been pushed to the very edge. Across the room stood Victor Halloran, a man whose wealth made headlines and whose confidence filled every space he entered. He was signing autographs for employees who would rather impress him than get back to work, noticed Mara. No one ever did, but this time everything was about to change. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet strength of people who refuse to give up, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Touch of Kindness. Your support helps stories like this reach the hearts that need them. Mara hadn't planned to cross paths with a millionaire that morning. She had come simply because she needed to know how much, if anything, was left in her savings account. The last few months had drained her caring for her sick father, losing her job when she missed too many shifts, and selling off most of what she owned to keep a roof over their heads. She had postponed this visit because she feared the answer. But fear didn't pay medical bills, and fear didn't keep the lights on. Victor noticed her only because she stood hesitantly near the front desk instead of stepping forward. Something about her quiet presence amused him. In a world that bowed to money, seeing someone move with such uncertainty felt almost foreign to him. When he overheard her whisper to the teller, "I just want to see my balance," he chuckled under his breath, as though the phrase itself was a humble joke. The teller, a young man named Karev who had seen more heartbreak behind that counter than most people see in a lifetime, offered Mara a gentle nod and typed slowly. Victor glanced over, curious, expecting to see a few dollars at most. He wasn't prepared for what appeared on the screen. Karev's fingers froze, his eyes widened. Victor leaned in, squinting, unable to believe it. Mara, confused by their sudden change in expression, felt her stomach twist. The screen displayed a number that didn't belong in her life, nor in the life of anyone struggling to keep their world from collapsing. Somehow, her late grandmother's dormant investment account, forgotten over decades, had matured and grown through untouched compound interest. It was more than enough to pay for her father's treatment, restore her stability, and rebuild her future. It was in fact more money than most people would ever see. In that moment, Victor stopped laughing. The lobby, once filled with idle chatter, felt suspended in time. Mara's breath caught in her throat, and she gripped the edge of the counter to steady herself. This wasn't wealth earned through fame or power or clever deals. It was a quiet miracle, the kind that visits people who desperately need one. She felt tears gathering, not from shock, from relief so profound it made her knees weak. As people began whispering, Victor stepped back, humbled. For the first time in a long while, he saw something that money couldn't buy: raw gratitude, honest strength, and a reminder that life doesn't reserve its blessings for the wealthy alone. Something inside him shifted, realized he wasn't laughing at her. He had been laughing at the smallness of his own assumptions. Mara didn't boast or celebrate loudly. She simply closed her eyes and whispered a thank you to fate, to her grandmother, to every moment that had led her here. She asked Karev quietly how to begin accessing the funds, and he guided her gently, respectfully, as though witnessing a sacred turning point. Victor found himself following her out of the building, not to offer advice or money, to wish her well. For once, he didn't feel like a millionaire, just a man who had seen someone rise from the hardest places with grace, walked into the sunlight with a steadier step than she had in months. The day was bright, the city alive around her, and for the first time in a long while, future felt possible. If this story touched your heart even a little, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Touch of Kindness. Engagement helps us reach more souls who need hope.